Hi everybody, Andy Cook from Harbor Food Service. I'm Harbor Food Service's resident restaurant consultant, and often I'm called to create content, online content, to help give insight, context, and resources towards a specific topic that is facing the industry. But knowing that not everybody wants to absorb information in that way, this video is to give you sort of the quick and dirty on the topic that I just wrote an article about, and it is on the often most overlooked consideration when you have to make significant changes to your operations, whether it be big menu adjustments, significant hourly availability, or you've blocked out days to help contain a COVID outbreak so it doesn't spread through your staff. And so let's get into the basics. I'm going to break eye contact because I'm going to scan it off this document, but that's why this is quick and dirty. So the very first thing that you should be doing is getting into your Google My Business profile and making those changes, because a vast majority of people are going to be scanning restaurants that are open near them in this tumultuous time of availability. If you're not exactly sure if you're connected or what to do if you are, or what to do if you aren't, I'm not going to get into the details here. Click on the article in the show notes and it'll walk you through all of those circumstances. But again, this is the most important part because it's going to show up on Google Maps. It's going to show up where people are looking. Second thing you want to consider is your website. So make the changes on your website, but especially if it has to do with your hours of availability or days of availability, I recommend putting that information front and center near the top center of your website, because about 90% of people that are visiting your website are doing it on their phones. And so making sure that it is right there on the first scan of your website is going to be important. And also make sure that it's presenting properly. A lot of people are going to make these changes on a desktop environment and they don't think, I do this myself, they don't think to see what it's going to look like on a phone. Third one, get into your social media platforms. And most of these changes you can make in the About section or the Info section. It has to do with hours and menu links and things like that. But also don't forget to create some sort of a post that gives context to people and pin it to the top of your page. Again, because they might be looking at this on their cell phone and they may not be able to see the information that you've changed in your About section. And I recommend just doing it on the most important ones. You don't have to do them all, but for instance, a third rate would be Yelp. If you don't think that Yelp is really affecting your flow of business, then you probably don't need to update it. Stick with the important ones. Another consideration is be sure to turn on or off or make the changes that are appropriate to your online ordering and to your third-party delivery platforms. Those are often overlooked, and they can cause a fair amount of frustration for people. The next one is your physical signs. So I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but a lot of people, they just don't know. They know the restaurant industry is struggling, is fair to say. And if they come to your establishment thinking that you're normally open and you are closed, they might jump to the conclusion that you are closed for good. And I know that a lot of people have put up signs on their doors that shows what their new hours are, but the signs aren't necessarily very well formatted. So I highly recommend that when you do it, don't do something handwritten with a pen or a Sharpie. They're not going to be visually recognized at a distance. So if you are going to handwrite it, make sure that you are using large font that's bold and has high contrast, like black on white, or better yet, do it in Word and print it out. And final consideration is whatever changes that you're making to your online presence that communicate how available you are operationally, set a reminder on your phone or on your calendar to go and check on it. If you know what your timeline is, like for instance, I'm going to close for 4 days to contain an outbreak, set yourself a reminder 3 days from now to make those changes, or 4 days from now. If you're not sure, set up incremental changes so that you don't lose track of it, because let's be honest, your online presence isn't what we're thinking of right away, and that's why this content has been created to begin with. But at any rate, for more context, for better direction, and for some potentially useful resource links, I'm going to link the article to this video, and go ahead and click it, scan it, read it, share it, do whatever you'd like to do. It's been my pleasure sharing it with you. Again, this is Andy Cook with Harbor Food Service, and this has been the quick and dirty on changing your online information to reflect your availability. See you next time.